Today we are here. The news has been all over buying. When I say, oh God, I can't speak. Mergers, acquisitions, deals. Backroom deals, shady deals, maybe. But Sony purchased Bungie, Microsoft purchased Activision. So we are here to give you our take as middle-aged gamers. Getting into our 40s. Does this matter for you? What's going to happen in the future? What do you think? What's coming? What's going to happen for indie studios?
I kind of liked the fact that Nintendo kind of always has this image of being kind of the happy, fun console. And if you're looking for those styles of games, then Nintendo's the place to go. It used to kind of be that Xbox had the reputation of being, if you're the kind of person who likes competitive play, if you're kind of you enjoy your FPSs and the dude bro shooters and whatnot, you know, Gears of War and whatnot. And I mean, and going back to what Antoine said about how Microsoft doesn't make IPs, I mean, they have in the past. They made Gears of War. But that was the place to go. And if you were the person who likes JRPGs and story-driven content, with the exception of maybe The Elder Scrolls, because Morrowind was originally on Xbox. But if you like your JRPGs, if you like your story-driven content, go with PlayStation. And I kind of liked that because it was kind of, it felt like you had a home that you belonged to. But now with everybody trying to be everybody, it's kind of I feel like it's fracturing because it's one of those things where like if you wanted a variety, sure, you had to kind of go all over the place. But if you were the kind of person who really liked RPGs, go with PlayStation. If you were the kind of person that really liked shooters, go with Xbox. But now it's like with everything being fractured, it's like if you're the person that really likes shooters, go to Xbox, but then you don't get all the shooters because now PlayStation has some of the ones you might want. You want JRPGs, you can go to PlayStation, but you're going to miss out on a lot by not getting Xbox. So I feel like by diversifying, it's almost forcing people to buy more consoles, to diversify themselves more. I would like to see and this is me. I could definitely see other people saying no. Sony should definitely focus more on FPSs. They definitely need to do this. They definitely need to do that. But for me, I feel like they should go with their strengths and make more. And there's always the stereotype. I mean, if you go on any of these forums, you always see the Xbox fanboys are saying like, oh, PlayStation is just a bunch of boring walking simulators with cutscenes. They're just cutscenes you play. And they basically say all Sony games are the same. They're so boring. You just walk around, do story. There's no action. And then if you look at the Sony fanboys, they're going like, oh, Xbox are just dude bro shooters. It's just click, 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 bam, 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 bam. There's no thought put into it whatsoever. And then there is that stereotype. But I feel like I really enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. I really enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't played Days Gone, but I've been considering it just because, it has been getting better reviews, which is kind of a strange thing that later on in its life cycle, people are like, oh yeah, actually it's pretty good. I haven't played The Last of Us 2. I did play the original one. It was pretty good. So yeah, I'd kind of like to see personally Sony kind of double down on that and be like, okay, let's create let's really harvest our image and not try to be this everything. Let's be Sony. Let's be PlayStation. But of course, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's pure. And I get it because those are the games I like. So if you're somebody else, you're like, no.
We have been talking about shooters, but I think we're missing a big part of the market, which are all these battle royale, which are playable on PlayStation. Fortnite, Valorant,
Apex,
PUBG, I think, Apex, or all of these are shooters, and all of this can be played on PlayStation. So that would, at least this would appeal to the younger generation. Not to us, maybe, but at least the younger generation can still have this, even if they don't have their classic. So you can still go on these. So you would see them leave the jack of all trade market and specialize themselves a bit like Nintendo do. That could be good, but does it mean that they would be leaving a lot of very nice green dollars in their wake? because if they specialize, then they are leaving the
Oh, absolutely.
rest of the field to Microsoft.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, this is my personal opinion. If it was up to me, that's what it would be. But I mean, yeah, no, it's financially a stupid idea.
No,
I'll
but
admit that.
no, I understand, because we have to understand that there are corpses behind us. Sega, Atari, Sega Saturn, Atari Jaguar, I think, was dead, and they were competing with PlayStation. I don't think Xbox was there at the time, but they compete against someone better than them, even though Sega was established before Sony in there. Atari is older than both of them. Yet they didn't try to specialize, or they didn't try to find something else. And PlayStation arrives, say, I'm better than both of you. Kill them. Bye-bye. After this, no more Atari, no more Sega. You have Nintendo, Sony for a while. And then, much later, Microsoft came with Xbox. So if Sony is not careful, and hopefully I don't think it would happen, but they could be the next Sega and say, well, we are not making enough money, we are losing to Microsoft. PS5 is our last console. There will not be PS6. There won't be any PS6, and bye-bye. Do you think that could happen?
I think it could. Honestly, I actually wouldn't be that broken up about it. Just because no, and that's the thing is I love playing PlayStation console. It's great, but I love PlayStation because of the games. And if they were like, we're just going to focus on the games and we're going to go to PC, or we're going to go to Xbox, or we're going to go to Nintendo, then I'd be like, fine, I'll just go there and I'll keep playing your games. And in a way that would kind of work out for me, because then it's like, okay, now I don't have to diversify across, buy multiple consoles. I can just buy the one. So in a way, I actually wouldn't mind that, but at the same time, that would worry me about monopolization, and that's one of the big things that people have been throwing around after this Activision Blizzard acquisition. Was a lot of people were throwing around the word monopoly, and it's not a monopoly. I mean, Take-Two is still huge. You still have Square Enix, and and obviously Nintendo is still out there. And that was one of the things. In Tencent's huge, and that was one of the other things that I've seen people saying is part of the reason that Sony is buying Bungie is because not just because they want to keep it out of the hands of Microsoft, but they want to keep it out of the hands of Tencent, because Tencent's a big threat out there that could become a real problem as well. So yeah, I definitely see that. Yeah, I could definitely see Sony kind of moving in that direction in the future, and I've seen and that was one of the things that I also saw was people were saying part of the reason that maybe Microsoft didn't buy Bungie, it was purely for optics, because if they bought acquisition at that price right after buying ZeniMax and then immediately turn around and buy Bungie, like that would not look good, because the Activision Blizzard is so big that it has people saying the word monopoly, or at least antitrust kind of things going on. If they were to buy something else, then that would look bad on them, because they probably will be at least reviewed, and that would not bode well for them. So that part of it might have been part of the reason why they didn't buy. Good, but I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, we hope that they buy the big companies that they keep saying. Both Sony people and Microsoft people are like, oh, they should buy. The big ones they name are Capcom, Sega, Square Enix, and Take-Two. But apparently, kind of funny with Capcom, Square Enix, and what was the other one that I mentioned? Sega. Because apparently Japan has laws that say that certain companies cannot be bought out by larger companies unless they are specifically seeking to be bought. So Microsoft cannot legally buy Sega in Japan unless Sega goes to them and says, we want you to buy us. So as far as now, Sony theoretically could, because Sony's a Japanese company. Nintendo also theoretically could. But I really hope that doesn't happen, because I really do hope that these guys remain multi-platform. So
what do you guys think about overall? I mean, the idea of this topic was consolidation in the gaming industry. Good, bad, terrible. Is it good for some people, bad for others?
good for Microsoft. It's good for Sony. It's good for
And
shareholders.
it's good for players in a way. As I said, Game Pass is dirt cheap when you consider that one game is $80 and Game Pass is 10. If you buy 2 or 3 games a year, you paid your Game Pass already. For the players, it's already very good. I think it's a good way. Be careful there. It's a good way to consolidate the AAA world. But I don't want to see independent studio being bought out by them, because if Microsoft or whatever wants to give money to independent studio for them to create their game independently, Sony and Bungie say, then it's good because the independent studio has money to make a good game, and that is very, very good. But I don't want to have such a same as in cinema, when a small director, author, want to make a movie, he doesn't have the funds to do it himself, so he goes to Warner Bros. Say, give me money so I can make my movie, and then say, I make this super masterpiece, extremely creative and very nice, and Warner Bros. Say yes, but it's rated R and I want it to be for everyone. So cut this, cut this, cut this. I don't like this ending. Cut this, cut this, cut this. And in the end, Warner Bros. Put the money in it and have all the rights to do all the editing they want on the movie. And this fantastic little pearl of cinema that we could have, fantastic little movie, become a movie of the MCU. And it's the same soup of a random superhero movie, fun for an hour, and you forget it. And I'm afraid that independent studio could fall into this. They want to make a great game, but Microsoft or whatever giant want to make money, and they say, trust us, we know that works. You do it like this. I don't want to do it like this. Do it like this. Okay, where's my check? And that's what I don't want to see. So I want to have a lot of independent studio out there, because lately AAAs are really boring. And I will mention again Far Cry 6. Oh my God. How lazy can you be? Jesus. So AAA lately, boring. A small independent game, Subnautica, the Goose Game or whatever, it's short game, it's simplistic game, but it's fun. I don't play 120 hours of a bloody boring game. I play 20 hours of a very fun game, and that's what I want. And that's what I want to see in the future. So, yeah.